What's happening, guys?
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to your dad hatted.
I know, we're like so matchy-matchy.
Cheers, dude. In one of our recent videos, we talked about the fact that we're about to be converting our van and the main things that we were thinking about while we were planning to convert our van. Well, happy to tell you today that we have taken the time to badly drop some blueprints for what we're going to do. I have badly drawn the blueprints.
I think they're pretty good, babe. I think they're pretty good.
We'll let them decide. Also, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Thank you to them. We'll talk about them a little bit more at the end of the video. We have some rough sketches of what we're going to do. We want to walk you through our van and show you the changes we're going to be making. In case you don't know, we have been living in this van for almost a year so far.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of time spent. And again, our build right now is not a bad build. It's just after you've been in a house for that long, you get to know the things that you want to change, the little tiny things. So This time we're going in, take two. We have some things in mind.
And I'm hoping that it's helpful for those of you who are thinking about building a van or about to build a van, so that you can really get the perspective of somebody who's actually lived in a van. A lot of the build series that you see on YouTube are people who have never lived in a van, and so they're really just guessing about how it's all going to play out. We actually know how it's all going to play out. We know, at least for us, obviously it's going to be different for you guys, but I'm hoping that that perspective is super valuable.
I hope so as well.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and jump in, and we will show you guys exactly what we are planning to change in our van.
The first big thing that we want to change is the placement of the kitchen for two reasons. The first reason is when we built the kitchen, we ended up with a lot more space than we expected because I think we had originally designed the van for the shorter wheelbase. We have a longer 170-inch wheelbase, which is awesome because it means we have more space. But we put so much kitchen storage in here that it's not really used effectively. So you can see down here, we have so much wasted space in here because this was originally I think we just made the cabinets kind of as they came and ended up putting the things that we needed in there as we had them. And you can see our silverware drawer is super deep and things like that, and we need way less room for our silverware. So there's just things like that we know we can fit everything that we need in much smaller space. So what we're planning on doing is actually putting the kitchen right over here. So it's going to jut out a little bit here, and then we're going to put it all the way in front of the door. So we're gonna have to engineer that whole thing. If you guys have any ideas for us, let us know. We're still brainstorming on how that's gonna work. But we're basically going to build something that's gonna raise the step up so we can utilize that space. It'll close our doorway a little bit, but we find that a lot of people don't utilize this space as well just because of that step, and it's hard to get around. So we're going to. So the kitchen's going to be here. It's going to be a little bit smaller than it is right now, but I'm pretty confident we'll be able to fit everything that we need in there because now we know exactly what we need and we can build our storage around it. Our biggest problem with our design right now is seating. We don't have a place to just chill and hang out, whether that's having meals together or with friends, working in our van, just sitting down and watching a movie. We just don't have the space that we need to do that. So because the kitchen is going to be over here, we now have all of this space to work with, and we're going to make a massive couch, and I'm so pumped. The couch is going to be an L shape that's going to start where the kitchen ends, go all the way around the back, and end right here with enough space for both the driver's seat and the passenger seat to be on a swivel. So we'll have two seats there, plenty of room for at least 3 people to sit there, and hopefully enough room here on the L. So we should have enough space for, how many is that? 6? That's 6, right? So that's the plan. And then for the table, we're actually going to be using the Lagoon table lay. I'm super excited about that. I was already thinking about it, and then once we saw Max and Lee actually have one, once we saw theirs in action, I was totally sold. I'm super excited to use it. So we'll have at least one with 2 mounts on either side. That's the plan for the living room. Our bedroom is going to stay about the same as it is right now. The only thing that's going to change about this space is that we're going to move our clothes storage. This is where it is right now. This kind of obviously cuts into our bed space, which we don't really mind being on a smaller mattress, but we kind of want to make it a little bit more open and breathable. So we're going to move this storage over to above the couch, which will mean that we'll be able to have a queen size mattress, I think. So we're stoked about that. We're thinking about getting a fully new mattress. This is like a really random size and also on its last leg, I'd say. So it's getting a little less comfortable, so we're gonna get a nicer mattress. So that's exciting, but that's really the only thing that's changing.
Clearly we are back in sunny Texas here, so sorry about the glare. But here's the garage. Now that we have the bikes out, obviously, it is mostly empty in here and like not well organized at all. We are going to be lowering this a bit. So the bed itself will probably come down to about right here. Basically, we're gonna lower it as low as we can go and still fit the bikes in. But we've noticed that since it's kind of hard to get the bikes in and out, we don't really ride them. So we are going to be building a space that's almost as wide as this, probably from about here out to about right here, that we'll be able to mount the bikes on. We'll be able to pull, like grab a handle here, pull the whole thing out, pop the bike off right here, you know, pop the tire on, be ready to rock. And we're gonna be keeping all of our bike helmets, all that stuff on the side. So we got bikes right here, and then the other half will be mostly dedicated to extra water storage, extra fuel storage. Basically, we would love to go off the grid for like a month at a time, potentially. This goes surprisingly deep, so we might go like five gallon containers deep. That'd be a ton of water. And then have a little bit of diesel storage, have our tools here. Basically anything else that we need in the van to really be rocking and rolling we'll have here. So maybe some winter blankets and winter coats, that kind of thing. That'll be over on this side with water on the bottom, diesel right here, and then a top row for tools, for boots, and anything else that we might need. So hopefully make way better use of this space.
So we've gotten a few FAQs from our last video that we wanted to address really fast. The biggest one that we get all the time is, why the heck don't you have a toilet? I can't imagine living in a van without a toilet. We really thought long and hard about getting a composting toilet. We are probably not going to go with a composting toilet. We are going to do one of those like pee funnels you guys might have seen in one of Eamon and Beck's videos.
They're super clutch.
So we'll definitely have a place to urinate. However, it has been a lot easier than we expected to find a toilet when we do need to go number 2. So that's the reason that we're not doing a toilet. It just seems like a little bit too much upkeep. To me, I feel like it's too small of a space to have to worry about cleaning that, because it would get really disgusting really fast. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Yeah.
The other main question we have gotten is about just like the overall look of the van, how much we're changing. We are going to change the vibe up a lot. We are going to be reusing as much of this wood as possible and donating any that we can't. But we will be ripping a lot of this out to re-insulate. So as we build back again, we're going to be painting some things, or we're going to be using different kinds of wood. So we'll be shaking it up too. We just want to make it feel a lot more homey. And honestly, we both really like change. So like it kind of feels like living in a log cabin in here, which is cool. But it would also be cool to be living in some other sort of space. We'll just be shaking it up. It should be a little bit more colorful and more fun. We will be changing the vibe. Other than that though, just stay watching. If you've got more questions, they will be answered as we do our build, because we probably don't have answers for you yet. But a couple days till we pull all this out. The first task is going to be hooking up our D2 heater, which we actually just got in today. Excited about that. But right after that, we'll be just ripping everything out, getting everything ready to go. And we're not talking about ripping out like back to square one, but we're talking about just bit by bit. If something needs to be re-insulated, like our floor or our ceiling, remove stuff, re-insulate, put it zip, zip, zip back up. And we want to frame it out a little bit better, put better, you know, structure to it. So anyway, stay watching. I won't go too much into that, but I hope that this video was helpful to you. And again, we put a lot of thought into this design because we've been in our space and we've, you know, been thinking about what kind of good things does it have that we want to keep? What is it missing? How can we bring those together? So if you have thoughts for us, if you have questions for us, comment below. I hope this is a comment-filled video because there are so many possibilities with the van, right? There's not a right way to do it. I hope this build turns out, but we've seen so many good builds all over the place. So yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Also, again, thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this. I still plan to make that website from Squarespace. I know it was only a couple days ago that we had our first video from them, so I haven't had the chance to put that together yet. But you guys keep creeping and peeping because I'm going to be making a website about our build. I'm going to be throwing all the videos and pictures as we go on our Squarespace site, just because Squarespace is so simple to use. It really is incredibly easy, and I'm not a website designer at all. And you guys just wait and see, because it's going to be a beautiful website made by somebody who is not a designer in any way.
I'm excited to see what you come up with.
I'm excited to do it. It'll be a fun project. So if you are talentless designer like me and can barely draw, Squarespace is for you. Go check it out. Check out the link in the description, and you could get 10% off of your first Squarespace purchase of a domain or website. Stay tuned, crossing the fingers. We hope that the next video is going to be us actually tools in our hands, ripping things out, putting things in, doing all that jazz. Stay tuned for it. We'll see you on Saturday. Bye.